There's this young boy we call Mr. President. We give him the title the President of Africa for a reason, because of how intelligent he is. This young boy, whenever he speaks, you ask yourself, then if this small boy can speak like this, have these ideas, then our leaders, what's up? He said the day he will come in contact with, this is one of his famous, video ever or statement he ever made. He said the day he will come in contact with African Union, he has only one question to ask them. The question is this: what have they been discussing anytime they meet? That is the only question he has for the African Union. He wants to know what they've been discussing all this year.
When I get a chance to attend the AU summit, which sits in Ethiopia, I have only one question to ask the members who have been sitting there before.
What question?
What have you been discussing for so long? What have you been talking about for so long? To the extent that some African countries are still fighting each other up to now. Yes, what have they been talking?
And I believe that if this young boy has the chance to meet with or to come in contact with ECOWAS, he will ask the same question. What at all have they been discussing? Anytime they organize summit, what has been the discussion? Anytime they have virtual meetings, what have they been discussing? The only time you see these people making real action is when there is coup d'etat. I think with the achievement of Burkina Faso, which I'm going to present to you so far, I think African Union together with ECOWAS, they need to come out and apologize to Africans. ECOWAS need to come out and apologize to West Africa as a whole, to apologize to us for being lazy, for not being able to achieve the purpose of their existence. ECOWAS need to apologize for failing to unify the West Africa, because we are even more divided than we were. African Union need to come out and apologize to all of us on the continent of Africa for failing to unite us, for failing to championing the real unity agenda, which is the main purpose of their existence. The failure of them all this while not being able to achieve that, as a result of their being in existence, it has even made us to be more divided than we are supposed to be united. I'm saying this in respect to what Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, the AES has just achieved. Lovely family, today we are going to dive into another bold step in reshaping of the Sahel and the unification of the Sahel. Burkina Faso has officially launched the AES Biometric Identity card, and the very person to receive it is Captain Ibrahim Traoré himself. Why should Captain Ibrahim Traoré receive the card in the first place? What is the purpose of the card? What is the nature of the card? I'll give you all the details. Before we get into it, can I ask you to do that for us? I don't know why it's difficult for some of you to like our videos. I don't know why. It is difficult to hit the like button. Do that, alright, do that. And subscribe if you're not a subscriber. The platform is growing thanks to you. Put us on notifications so when we drop it, you have access to it. Now, let's come back to the story. This card we are going to talk about in question, I can tell you that it is not just a card. It is a political statement, a message of unity, a powerful signal to the entire region of Sahel and Africa as a whole. A signal to African Union and ECOWAS that look, what you've not been able to achieve within the space of few years, with less meeting among these leaders, they've been able to achieve it. This is what happened in Burkina Faso. Fresh news. The president of Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, received the biometric ID from the Minister of Security. He received the ID after going through all the necessary enrollment process that every citizen who need the card, who need to have access to the card, have to follow. The reason for him being the first person to receive this biometric identity card is to mark the official rollout of the new identification system for the Alliance of Sahel States, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. It is not only for Burkina Faso. The card in question comes with major upgrade. According to report, the card is built with high security polycarbonate. It carries advanced biometric data. It carries fingerprint, digital photo, and signature. According to report, the card includes up to 16 layers of security features And when you receive the card, it is valid for 10 years. This is a card, according to report, that will eventually replace Burkina Faso's current national ID. The mass enrollment will begin in 2026. So starting in 2026, this card will be rolled out nationwide to the entire population of the AES. For children of age 5, this card is optional to them. But from age 13, the AES ID becomes compulsory to every citizen. Once you are 13 years, you need to have access to this card. Now, here is what actually makes this card truly historic. This card in question, family, it is more than identity card. It is a symbol of sovereignty and regional integration for the Sahel. With this one card, the citizens of the AES can move, work, and identify themselves across the entire AES space freely. What ECOWAS, African Union, failed to do for many years with many summits held. And this card, according to the government, it is going to greatly improve national security in the Sahel. It will reduce identity fraud, and it is going to modernize the country's entire civil registry system. So free movement in the Sahel right now with this card is made much more easier. With just one single passport, you are free to go to Mali. When you are from Niger, you are free to visit any of the AES countries. In Africa, West Africa alone, for you to move from Ghana to Togo, if the soldiers don't slap you on the border, I don't know. But it is a whole lot of stress. People can attest to that fact. Even with all the effort they are making, no, it is not working actually as it's supposed to work. Here is the real lesson in all these things. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso have managed to achieve what the entire African Union has been promising us for decades. They promise us real free movement of the people. These people have been able to achieve that, and they achieved that with no endless summit like African Union and ECOWAS. Endless summit after summit. Every year there is a new team of the year. There is a meeting here and there. You don't see them holding conferences, endless conferences, and giving speeches, and we will come out and say, oh, powerful speech, powerful speech. These people, the AES leaders, met only once since the formation of the AES. They met only once in Niger. You remember when Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, the three leaders met in Niger, and we all witnessed that. From that time, there have not been that solid meeting among them. Although communication and actions, delegations are meeting, but the leaders themselves, like African Union, how they meet, ECOWAS, how they meet, but they've been able to make movement easy for their citizens in their region. We are cooked, man. While the AU, African Union, still struggle to implement a single African passport, while borders across the continent remain closed. The borders remain suspicious. We are afraid of each other and we are divided. The AES has quietly taken a bold step towards true African integration. Three nations under pressure, under sanctions, under threat, have succeeded at something 55 nations with bigger budget and bigger institutions have failed to deliver to the continent. This forced us to ask one simple but uncomfortable question. How can a small alliance in the Sahel achieve unity faster than the entire African Union? Maybe the answer is leadership. Maybe it is political will. Either way, the message of the AES is clear. Unity can be achieved when the leaders are determined to unite the people. The reason why we are not having the unity is because our leaders, ECOWAS and African Union leaders, they are even much more divided among themselves. These are people controlled by the people who don't want us to unite. Let's put it that way. They are in the pocket of people who don't want us to unite. So how are we going to achieve it? Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, they have broken the chains of imperialism where they will be controlled, they will be divided through a whole lot of things. No, they are on their own making decisions freely without interference from other outside or whatever. No, they sit down and take decisions best to the interest of their people. Your people in African Union, your people in ECOWAS, they are stuck in the pocket of the imperialists and they cannot function properly. They cannot function to favor their people because the will of the people is against the imperialists. The imperialists beat them to do what they want them to do. When we are divided, then the conquering of the continent is sure. When we are united, it becomes very difficult. Burkina Faso, they are united militarily. Economic-wise, they are integrating. Here we are on the continent of Africa, thinking that it's going to take the next 50 years for us to get you to unite. But 3 of the Sahel, they have made it possible for their people to move freely, and they have made the system so solid so that they can dictate identity fraud. Ghana like this, you have Nigerians having Ghana card. They will come and then they have Ghana card. You have other citizens. And when they arrest them, they go to do, fraud or whatever they're going to do, and they have been arrested. Ghana card is following them, proving that they are Ghanaians, meanwhile they are not. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they've been able to cure the region from identity fraud. When you are from Mali, the card say you are from Mali, but under the umbrella of AES. When you are from Burkina Faso, the card details say you are Burkina Faso citizen under the AES. When you are from Niger, it dictates that you are from Niger. If you are not from any of these countries, you cannot have access to this card, because this system of these people is not loose like the one we even have in Ghana here, the one Nigerians are having. ECOWAS card, you take it, the ECOWAS identification card. Our Ghana card is under the ECOWAS identification. When you look on your Ghana card, it is written, ECOWAS identity is there. But movement, it is what we call in our, in our dialect, chovinam, hovinam, millenam la, bikwenam la, it is not, it is tough for you to move freely. This tells us one thing: African Union and ECOWAS, they are not actively working to unify the continent. Let's put those apart and speak truth to power. But anyway, this is beautiful development, right? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Respect.